Hey guys, welcome to my demo for the take-home assignment. I built a Nike shopping agent. I explored with a few really interesting use cases, but this was the one that fit best with Tavily, and also cousin of mine works at Stripe, and she was mentioning that these shopping agents are a big topic with them. They want to power companies like Nike with Stripe's API to enable an extra node here for purchasing, and probably would just need to store a product ID in the shopping state, and then boom, you can actually just go from searching to purchasing in a matter of seconds, which would be unbelievable. Very, very excited about this. Really had a blast working on this. I tried to record this a few times, it was way over, so I'll be super quick here, and I hope that we can chat about this more in person. I'm really excited to dive deeper into this. But high level, this is inspired from the company research agent that's on your guys' GitHub. Extremely good job on that to you guys. Very great separation of concerns. The passing of data is very clean and it's very scalable. I actually built a GitHub repo, which is a skeleton of that project. So if you want to build another agent system, with that pattern, extremely easy to get that up off the ground. So very, very good job, you guys, on that. So here's the graph class. As you can see, it goes crawler, extractor, processor, and then we're just compiling the graph here. The app itself is fast API. It has this run graph endpoint using Pydantic to make sure that these fields are enumerated and validated because it's very important for our search. Here we get back the final shoe recommendations and return it to the front end, which I'll show you guys in a bit. We can start with the first node, which is process. So we're using, crawl. So we're using the crawl API to search on Nike.com, either /men or /women, as you can see here. And we are using these instructions to make sure we're getting back product pages and not catalog pages. Played a lot with this to make sure that we're getting back actual product pages, And here is the API call. And then we are just doing some very simple processing, which is just returning a dictionary with the results that the crawl API is returning. So raw content is and URL are the most important here because we're going to use that for further processing, and that gets stored in this shopping state. So shoe data, and as you can see here, it gets finer and finer grained as we go through the system. And right up here is where you can see that shoe data that gets returned from process updated in the state. So then let's look at extract. So high level, you can see the functions here. Extract is using, it's not using tavily extract right now because those URLs are blocked, so they're not returning any data. I'm assuming they're bot protected. I would like to have a try except here, and then if we don't get anything back from tavily, then we can use the LLM, which I'm doing here. But right now we're falling back on raw content and just using this prompt to OpenAI to pass. I pass in the raw content, and then I ask it to return these fields in JSON, which it can do very reliably. And then, basically returning that JSON back to the state. And finally, we have process. And the high level idea here is to take the input data from input state, as you can see here, because shopping state actually inherits from input state, which means it has access to all these fields. And the high level idea is to take the data that we've processed to up to this point, which is this, and compare it against the input state, and then provide a ranking recommendation. So right now I'm just doing it on shoe size, as you can see here, but the concept has been proven out that you can take all of this data and you can make a very complex ranking algorithm based on whether the user prefers certain colors over a budget. They really want that red. Maybe they'll splurge a little bit. So you can make a very complex ranking algorithm here, which is really cool. So that's what this does, and then it returns a list, and the list, as you can see here, and the list is obviously ordered by the recommendation. So let's look at the front end. Oh, I had it already done. But yeah, here we'll take a look. Let's say we want to do basketball. Oh yeah, this is just like a very simple TypeScript React front end, and I made sure my biggest priority was to make sure all these fields were properly protected, so we're getting good data, good quality data passed to our backend. So here, as you can see, we just invoked it, and would love for this to be async as it's done. So these are past recommendations. Love to be for this to be async as is done in the example you guys built, so we can stream in the data live, and then having those nodes as edges so they can run in parallel is also very cool. And um, that WebSocket architecture is very cool too. So here we return both basketball shoes, and they're both women basketball shoes, which is really cool. This one only had 2 results, but the concept remains the same. It's we're ranking them as such, and then of course, which would be super cool, is one day Nike has a Stripe API or any premium provider API, and you can just purchase right on the website. That's the goal. So thank you so much for listening. Hopefully I didn't take up too much time, and really looking forward to talking to you guys more. Take care.